Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Chem Origin. This is Dr. Satish Kumar. Students, in the video module 1 of coordination compounds, we discussed the definition of double salt, definition of coordination compounds. Students, in this present video module, that is video module 2, we discuss about the terms which are frequently used in the coordination compounds. So what are the terms which are frequently used in the coordination compounds? We discussed detailedly in this video module. Now let us start our class. Dear students, the terms which are used frequently in coordination compounds is central metal ion, ligands, coordination number, coordination sphere, oxidation number, complex ion. Students, these are the terms we are frequently used in coordination compounds. Now we can see one by one in detail. The first term is central metal ion. Central metal ion. So students, the central metal ion is the one in which the central metal ion it is a cation. So students, we can write like this: the cation to which the cation to which so the central metal ion, the cation to which one or more neutral molecules, or anions, one or more neutral molecules or anions attached is called central metal ion, So students, the metal ion is a cation to which one or more neutral molecules or anions attached is called the central metal ion. Students, here the central metal ion can act as a acceptor. So students, here the central metal ion acts as a the central metal ion acts as an acceptor. So it can accommodate, acts as an acceptor. That means it can accommodate, a pair of electrons. It can accommodate a pair of electrons. Donated by a donor atom of a ligand. It can accommodate a pair of electrons donated by a donor atom of a ligand. So students, here the central metal ion acts as an acceptor. Therefore the central metal ion must have a vacant orbital, or the central metal ion have empty orbitals. Then only the central metal ion must have vacant orbitals or empty orbitals. Then only the central metal ion can accommodate a pair of electrons. Students, in general, transition metals, that is the d block metals, can have empty d orbitals. The transition metals have vacant or empty d orbitals. We know very well. Students, we know that the d block elements are known as a transition metals. The transition metals have vacant d orbitals. That's why students, in generally, transition metals can form readily or easily coordination compounds. So transition metals can easily form the coordination compounds. can easily form the coordination compounds due to the transition metals have a vacant d orbitals or empty d orbitals. For example, students, if you take NiNH3 plus, if you take like this NiNH3 6 times 2 plus NiNH3 6 times 2 plus. So if you take this complex ion, in this complex ion the Ni2 plus, in this complex ion Ni2 plus is the central metal ion. NiNH3 plus, in this example, in this complex ion the central metal ion is Ni2 plus. Ni2 plus is the central metal ion in this example, Ni2 plus. Similarly, students, if you take one more example, that is FeCN6 3 minus. Suppose students, if you take FeCN6 3 minus, so here the ligand is cyanide. FeCN6 3 minus, FeCN6 3 minus. So students, in this example Fe3 plus is the central metal ion in this complex ion. Fe3 plus is the central metal ion in this complex. So students, the cation to which one or more neutral molecules or anions attached is called the central metal ion. So students, we know that nickel 2 plus, it has a vacant d orbital. Similarly, if you take Fe3 plus is also have a vacant d orbitals. Therefore it can accommodate a pair of electrons donated from the corresponding ligands, forms a corresponding coordination compounds. Students, ligands is the term which is also frequently used in coordination compounds. Now we can see about the term ligand. So students, ligands are defined as the neutral molecules or the anions which are directly linked with the central metal atom or a ion in a complex ion is known as a ligands. So students, the neutral molecule or the anion, the neutral molecules or the anions which are directly attached to the central metal atom, which are directly attached to the central metal atom, or a ion, central metal atom or a ion in a complex ion is known as a ligands. The neutral molecules or the anions which are directly attached to the central metal atom or ion in a complex ion is called as a ligands. So students, here the neutral molecules or anions can donate a pair of electrons to the central atom. Hence students, the ligands should have at least one unpaired electrons, one lone pair of electrons. So students, free ligands must have, or at least can have a pair of electrons which are not participates in bonding. So students, free ligands at least can have one pair of electrons which are not participating in bonding, so then only which are not participating in bonding, then only The neutral molecule or the anion can act as a ligand. Students, here the ligand can have at least one pair of electron and which can donate a electrons to the central metal atom. Students, we know the definitions of Lewis acids. Similarly, we also know the definition of Lewis bases. So Lewis acids are the acids which can accept a pair of electrons, are known as a Lewis acids. Similarly, students, Lewis bases which can donate a pair of electrons are known as a Lewis bases. Students, we know the definitions of both Lewis acids and Lewis bases. So, Lewis bases can donate a pair of electrons, can donates at least a pair of electrons. So, electron donors are Lewis bases. Lewis acids, electron pair acceptors. So, just now we discussed the definition of central metal atom or central metal ion acts as a electron pair acceptor. Therefore, students, Lewis acid, central metal atom or the central metal ion acts as a Lewis acid. Similarly, here the ligand can donate a pair of electrons to the central metal atom or ion. Therefore, ligands acts as a Lewis bases. Central metal ions acts as a Lewis acids. So students, the ligands can directly linked with the central metal ion through a. So students, ligands can donate a pair of electrons to the metal ion. Therefore, ligand can form a bond with the central metal ion. Ligand can form a coordinate bond. Or a dative bond. With the central metal ion, with the central metal atom or the central metal ion. So students, ligands can donate a pair of electrons and the central metal ion can accept a pair of electrons to form the complex, and the ligand should have at least one pair of electrons which are not participating in bonding. So students, we can see some examples which are acts as a ligands. For example, students, you can take ammonia. Students, we know the formula of ammonia. So ammonia formula is NH3. In NH3 molecule, the nitrogen atom can have a pair of electrons. Similarly, students, you can take one more example. For example, water, H2O molecule. In H2O molecule, oxygen atom can have two lone pair of electrons. Similarly, students, you can take Cn minus. Similarly, you can see halide anions, F minus, Cl minus, Br minus. Like this, students, the ligand at least should have a pair of electrons. Which is not participate in bonding can act as a ligand. So ligands are electron donors. So it can act as a Lewis acids. Similarly, students, central metal ion can act as a electron pair acceptor. So these are acts as a Lewis bases. So the ligand can have a pair of electrons. The ligands can have a pair of electrons which are acts as a ligands. Students, based on the number of donor atoms present in the ligands are classified into different types. So students, based on the number of donor atoms present in the ligands are classified into which are classified into different types. Ligands are classified into different types, classified into different types. For example, students, if you take different types, those are monodentate ligand, bidentate ligands, tridentate ligands, polydentate ligands. So what are these different types of ligands? We can see detailedly one by one. The first one is monodentate ligand. Monodentate ligand. So students, if the ligand can have only one donor atom which can form with the dative bond or coordinate bond with a central metal atom, are known as a monodentate ligand. So students, the ligand can have only one donor atom. The ligand can have only one donor atom. Only one donor atom. Only one donor atom are classified as a only one donor atom are classified or known as a monodentate ligands. Monodentate ligands. Monodentate ligands. For example, students, you can you can see, for example, ammonia NH3, ammonia NH3. Similarly, just now we saw H2O, and also halide anions, that is F minus, Cl minus, Br minus. Similarly, Cn minus, Cn minus, Br minus, Cn minus, and so on. OH minus, hydroxide anion, OH minus. All these are acts as a monodentate ligands because these ligands can have only one pair of electron and which can donate to the central metal atom. F minus, Cl minus, Br minus, halide anions. Similarly, students, hydroxide anion, that is OH minus ion. Similarly, cyanide anion, Cn minus. Like these neutral molecules or anions can act as a ligands. Monodentate ligand. The ligand should have only one donor atom. So students, another type of ligands is bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand. So students, the ligand bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand. So students, ligand which have two donor atoms. The ligand which have two donor atoms, and the donor atoms have the ability to link with the central metal atom at two positions. So the ligand can have two donor atoms, can have two donor atoms, can have two donor atoms, and the ability two donor atoms, and the ability to link with the and the ability to link with the and the ability to link with the central metal ion, and the ability to link with the central metal atom or ion, to link with the central metal atom, to link with the central metal atom or ion, central metal atom at two positions. At two positions are known as a bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand are known as a bidentate ligand. Bidentate ligand. So students, if you see example for the bidentate ligand is ethylene diamine, central metal atom. For example, for bidentate ligand is ethylene diamine. Example for bidentate ligand is ethylene diamine. Ethylene, ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine is the best example for bidentate ligand, students. So ethylene diamine can be denoted with a En. En is used in place of ethylene diamine. Students, you should be remember En. En means ethylene diamine ligand. So if you see the structure of the ethylene diamine is like this, students. CH2 bond CH2. The two CH2 groups should have the two CH2 groups should have two NH2 groups. So CH2, CH2, NH2. Similarly, this CH2 should also have NH2. So the ethylene diamine is an example of bidentate ligand. So students, in ethylene diamine, the two NH2 groups can form a dative bond or coordinative bond with the metal ion, can act as a bidentate ligand. So students, if you see one more example for bidentate ligand is oxalate dianion. Oxalate dianion. This oxalate dianion, it is also denoted with OX. The small letter OX is the symbol used for the oxalate anion. Oxalate dianion bidentate ligand. So students, in oxalate dianion, it is a CO, C double bond O, O minus, O minus, or the oxalate dianion. It is also, students, acts as a bidentate ligand. So the two O minus groups can form a dative bond or coordinative bond with the central metal atom or the central metal ion and acts as a bidentate ligand. Similarly, students, tridentate ligand. So the ligand can have three donor atoms or known as a tridentate ligand. So tridentate ligand, another type of ligand is tridentate ligand. So the name itself mention the ligand should have three donor atoms. Tridentate ligands. So the ligand can have three donor atoms. Are classified as a tridentate ligands and the ability to link with the central metal atom at three positions. So the three donor atoms can form a dative bond with the central metal atom or known as a tridentate ligands. So tridentate ligands. Here also, students, tridentate ligands. So students, example for tridentate ligand is diethylene triamine. Diethylene triamine is an example for the diethylene triamine is an example of tridentate ligand, students. So DIEN is the abbreviation used to indicate the tridentate ligand, that is diethylene triamine. For example, students, if you take the diethyl triamine structure, this is like this. So in case of diethyl triamine, you can take CH2 diethyl triamine, means there were two ethylene groups. Di means two, students, we know that. CH2 NH, CH2 NH2 diethylene triamine, because here two amino groups and four ethylene groups are present. So diethylene triamine can have three donor groups. These three donor groups can have ability to link with the central metal ion. So this is an example of tridentate ligand. Similarly, students, you can take terpyridine. Its symbol is terpi. So terpyridine is another example. Terpyridine is another example. Terpyridine is another example for tridentate ligand. Its symbol is terpi. Terpi is the notation used for terpyridine tridentate ligand. If you observe the structure of the terpyridine structure like this, three pyridine rings which are jointed at the ortho position. So students, three pyridine rings which are jointed, which are bonded, which are connected at ortho position are known as a terpyridine. So pyridine structure, we know, students, the phenyl ring having nitrogen is known as a pyridine ring. Like this, three pyridine rings are bonded together, can act as a tridentate ligand. So the three nitrogen atoms can form a dative bond or coordinate bond with a central metal atom, can act as a tridentate ligand, terpyridine. Similarly, students, polydentate ligands also can exist. So, students, the ligands, polydentate ligands, the ligands which have more than two donor groups are known as a polydentate ligands. The ligands which have more than ligands which have more than two donor groups, more than two donor groups can act as a polydentate ligands. Ligands which have more than two donor groups, can act as a polydentate ligands, acts as a polydentate ligands, polydentate ligands. So students, like this, ligands are classified as a monodentate ligands, bidentate ligands, polydentate ligands. So ligands which have more than two donor groups acts as a polydentate ligands. Students, another type of ligand is chelating ligands. Just now we discussed about the types of ligands: monodentate ligand, bidentate ligand, tridentate ligand, polydentate ligands. Similarly, students, now we can see chelating ligands. So the chelating ligands, a bidentate or a polydentate. Students, we know that polydentate ligand, a bidentate ligand or a polydentate ligand is known as a, or a polydentate ligands are known as a chelating ligands. If are known as a chelating ligands, if on coordination, it results in the formation of, it results in the formation of it results in the formation of cyclic ring structure. It results in the formation of cyclic ring structure, are known as a chelating ligands. So students, a bidentate or a polydentate ligands are known as a chelating ligands if on coordination it results in the formation of, a cyclic ring structure. The formed complexes, are known as a, the formed complexes are known as a chelates. The formed complexes are known as a, chelates, very important term, students. Please remember this word chelate. So a bidentate or a polydentate ligand on coordination with a central metal atom, it results in the formation of a cyclic ring type of structure. Those are known as a chelates. For example, students, we can see one example. For example, the complex compound or the coordination compound. So the complex compound, formed by the complex compound formed by the complex compound formed by Cu2 plus ion, copper 2 plus ion, with a ligand ethylene diamine, results in the formation of a chelate, results in the formation of a chelate, if you observe the structure, it is denoted like this: results in the formation of a, chelate. This is, that is with Cu2 plus. Here Cu2 plus is the central metal atom or the central metal ion. So students, we already discussed about the structure of the ethylene diamine. So if you observe the structure of ethylene diamine is like this, we know that is CH2 NH2, and it is attached to another CH2NH2 group. So CH2NH2 and CH2NH2. So this is the ethylene diamine structure, students. We know very well. So ethylene diamine structure ethylene diamine CH2NH2. CH2NH2. This CH2NH2 is on coordination with the CH2NH2 is on coordination with the copper metal, that is what we said here, Cu2 plus. So this is in coordination with the copper metal. Similarly, another molecule of ethylene diamine, similarly students, another molecule of ethylene diamine is also coordination with the copper metal, and forms a five membered ring as shown here. It forms a five membered ring. So CH2NH2, 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 CH2NH2. So in this way it can form a five membered ring as shown here. So CH2NH2, the two nitrogen atoms on coordination with the copper metal results in the formation of a chelate. So students, in this chelate the oxidation state of copper is 2 plus. So here we write the oxidation number as a 2 plus. So students, this complex can also be denoted like this. Students, we know that ethylene diamine is also denoted as a En. So students, we can write like this, that is CuEn twice 2 plus. That is, we can write like this students, Cu ethylene diamine, that is En twice, CuEn twice 2 plus, CuEn twice 2 plus. So we can also denote this complex like this, CuEn twice 2 plus. So CuEn twice 2 plus, we can also denote the above complex like this, CuEn twice 2 plus, because here the oxidation state of copper is 2 plus 2 plus. So students, these chelates have some characteristics. Now we can see the characteristics of chelates. So characteristics of chelates. So chelating ligand. Here we discuss the characteristics of chelates. So students, when we compared with monodentate ligands, these chelating ligands forms a stable complex. So students, we can write chelating ligands forms more stable complexes. More stable complexes than monodentate ligands. So these chelating ligands complexes, that is nothing but chelates are more stable. So chelating ligands forms more stable complexes than monodentate ligands. This is known as a chelating effect. So students, if in your mid exam or sem exam, if the examiner may ask a question like this, what is chelating effect? So the chelating ligands forms a more stable complexes when compared with the monodentate ligands. This is because of the chelating effect. It is known as a chelating effect. So students, in general, all polydentate ligands can act as a chelating ligands. All polydentate ligands can act as a chelating ligands. So students, in the characteristics of chelates, the first one is chelating ligands forms a more stable complexes than monodentate ligands. Similarly, the another characteristic of chelates is the chelates containing the chelates containing the chelates containing the chelates containing 5 or 6 membered ring. The chelates containing 5 or 6 membered rings. 5 or 6 membered rings, including 5 or 6 membered rings, including metal atom. The chelates containing 5 or 6 membered rings, including metal atom or more stable. metal atoms, including metal atoms, are more stable. So students, just now we discussed the example, that is the copper 2 plus forms a stable complex with ethylene diamine. See here students, CH2 CH2 NH2 NH2 is forms a coordinate bond with the metal, that is copper. See, if you see, it is a 5-membered ring. Similarly this side also one more 5-membered ring. Like the students, the chelates which are having 5-membered or 6-membered are generally more stable. See, if you see, if you give numbering 1, if you give numbering from this side 1 2 3 4 5, so it is a 5-membered ring. Similarly if you see in right hand side 1 2 3 4 5, like these students, generally the chelates which are having 5 or 6-membered rings including the metal are more stable. So students, the chelates which are having 5-membered or 6-membered rings are more stable. Similarly students, in general the chelating ligands, in general the chelating ligands in general the chelating ligands in general the chelating ligands which are having, which contains unsaturated groups. In general the chelate ligands contain, in general the chelating ligands contains unsaturated groups, unsaturated groups, that means double bond. Students, we know that unsaturated and saturated. So unsaturated groups, that means double bond, double bond. So in general the chelating ligands contains unsaturated groups, forms a six membered, forms a six membered stable complexes, six-membered stable complexes, six-membered stable complexes, six-membered stable complexes. Or if the chelating ligands having a, if the if the chelating ligands having, in general students, if the chelating ligands does not contains, if the chelating ligands does not contains, if the chelating ligands does not contains, if the chelating ligand does not contains unsaturated groups, that means double bond, forms only 5-membered stable complexes, forms only 5-membered stable complexes. So similarly students, another characteristic for chelates is generally students, ligands with smaller groups, the ligands which are having smaller groups. So ligands with smaller groups, ligands with smaller groups forms a stable rings, ligands with smaller groups, ligands with smaller groups forms a stable rings, forms a stable rings than the ligands with, forms a stable rings than the ligands with larger groups, than the ligands with, than the ligands with larger groups, than the ligands with larger groups. So students, if the chelating ligands is having smaller groups forms a stable rings only. So ligands with smaller groups form stable rings than the ligands with larger groups. So students, these are the characteristics of chelates. Students, another important term frequently used in coordination compounds is coordination number. Now we can see the coordination number. Coordination number, the number of ligands. Coordination number, the number of ligands attached to the central ion in a complex compound is known as a coordination number of that ion. So students, the number of ligands, the number of ligands, the number of ligands attached to the central ion, attached to the central metal ion, attached to the central ion, attached to the central ion in a complex compound, attached to the central ion in a, attached to the central ion in a complex compound, in a complex compound is known as a, in a complex compound, in a complex compound is known as a, is known as a coordination number of that ion, is known as a coordination number, coordination number of that, coordination number of that ion, coordination number of that ion. So like this, the number of ligands attached to the central ion in a complex compound is known as a coordination number of that ion. For example students, if you take a silver complex, so silver complex like this, Ag NH3 twice. So students, in this compound, in this complex, silver is the central metal ion and ammonia is the ligand. So Ag NH3 twice plus. In this complex, students, Ag NH3 twice plus. In this complex, the coordination number of the central metal ion. So the coordination number of the central metal ion, that is silver, is, in this, the coordination number of the central metal ion silver is 2, because silver metal is attached to the two ammonia ligands. Similarly, we can see one more example, that is, you can take CuH2O4, copper hydroxide, copper H2O complex, copper aqua complex, CuH2O. If you take CuH2O 4 times, CuH2O 4 times plus 2. In this complex, students, the copper is the central metal ion. Cu plus is 2 is the central ion. Here the copper ion is attached to 4 water molecules, 4 ligands. Therefore, the coordination number of the central metal ion is, in this example, is 4. So the number of ligands attached to the central ion in a complex compound is known as a coordination number. Another term frequently used in coordination compounds is, students, coordination sphere. Coordination sphere. So the another term which is frequently used in the coordination compounds is coordination sphere. So students, the central metal atom and the ligands which are directly attached to it are collectively known as a coordination sphere. So coordination sphere, the central metal atom, the central metal atom, the central metal atom and the total number of ligands directly attached to the metal atom, the central metal atom and the total number of ligands, and the total number of ligands which are directly attached to the, and the total number of ligands, and the total number of ligands, and the total number of ligands which are directly attached to the metal atom, which are directly attached to the, which are directly attached to the metal atom, which are directly attached to the metal atom are collectively known as a, or collectively known as a, collectively known as a coordination sphere. Collectively known as a, collectively known as a coordination sphere. Coordination sphere. Coordination sphere. So students, coordination sphere. Coordination sphere, the central metal atom and the total number of ligands which are directly attached to the metal atom are collectively known as a coordination sphere. For example, students, you can easily understood if you take one example. For example, students, if you take a cobalt ammonia complex like this, cobalt ammonia complex. So cobalt is our the central metal atom and the ligands which are attached to the cobalt is ammonia. So CONH3 3 plus, CONH3 3 plus, CONH3 3 plus, like this complex. So there we write the central metal atom, that is cobalt, and the ligand ammonia inside the square bracket. So this is the coordination sphere, coordination number. Students, another important term in coordination compounds is oxidation number. Oxidation number. So now we can see oxidation number. So students, oxidation number, it is a number which represents the electric charge on the central metal atom of a complex ion. So students, oxidation number, it is a number, it is a number, it is a number which represents the, it is a number which represents the electric charge, which represents the electric charge, which represents the electric charge on the central metal atom, electric charge on the central metal atom, central metal atom in a complex ion. So students, it is a number which represents the electric charge on the central metal atom of a complex ion is known as a oxidation number of a complex ion, of a complex ion is known as a oxidation number, oxidation number. So it is a number which represents the electric charge on the central metal atom of a complex ion. For example, students, if you take FeCN6 4 minus, if you take a complex ion like this, FeCN6 4 minus, FeCN6 4 minus. So students, in this complex, the central metal atom is Fe, iron, and the oxidation state, here the oxidation state of iron is +2. Therefore, students, in this complex, the oxidation number of Fe +2 ion, in the oxidation number of central metal atom iron is +2. Iron is +2. Similarly, students, if you take another example, suppose CONH3 plus. If you take another example like this complex, CONH3 plus, CONH3 plus. Students, in this complex, CONH3, so here ammonia is the ligand and cobalt is our central metal atom. Here the oxidation state of the central metal, that is cobalt, is +3. Therefore, the oxidation number of the central metal cobalt is +3 in this example. Similarly, students, if you take one more example like nickel tetracarbonyl, NiCO4, nickel tetracarbonyl, NiCO4. Students, in this complex, the oxidation state of the central metal atom is nickel. Central metal atom nickel is 0. Central metal atom nickel oxidation number or oxidation state is 0. So oxidation number, it is the number which represents the electric charge on the central metal atom of a complex ion. Students, another important word frequently used in coordination compounds is complex ion. Complex ion. Students, a complex ion is a ion. It is an electrically charged ion. It is formed by the combination of metal atom central cation with the more than one ligand species. So complex ion. A complex ion is a electrically charged ion. A complex ion is an electrically charged is an electrically is an electrically charged is an electrically charged species formed by the combination of formed by the combination of formed by the combination formed by the combination of central cation formed by the combination of central cation formed by the combination of central cation and more than one ligand species formed by the combination of central cation with more than more than one ligand species with more than one ligand species with more than one ligand species is known as a complex ion with more than one ligand species. So students, a complex ion is an electrically charged species formed by the combination of central cation with more than one ligand species. See students, here the example FeCN6. Here it is a complex ion. Iron is the central cation and cyanide, 6 cyanide ligands are attached directly to the metal atom. Similarly, CONH3 plus. Here the metal is cobalt. Here the central cation is cobalt and 6 neutral ligands are directly attached to the metal. So students, these are the terms which are frequently used in the coordination compounds. So central metal ion, ligands, coordination number, coordination sphere, oxidation number, complex ion. So students, once we familiar with these terms, we can easily understood the coming concepts in this coordination compounds lesson. Okay students, I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you very much.